Right, so we're here at the Manchester Film Festival with the team from Everyday, a really sort of powerful short film about sort of general anxiety and sort of how people manage to deal with every day. Would you like to give sort of introduction to yourselves, what you did on the film, and then also an introduction to the film itself?
So I'm Keely, I wrote the film.
I'm Ed, I directed.
I'm Lucy and I played Amy in the film.
And do you want to just let us know sort of what the film is about and sort of where you came with the idea from?
Yeah, so the film sort of just focuses essentially mostly on like social anxiety and like the difficulties that everyday challenges can like bring to people that suffer with it, like just everyday simple tasks of like going to the shop, going out to run errands, like a lot more difficult for people that suffer with social anxiety, and sort of bringing attention to that. And the reason I sort of wrote it was to sort of bring attention and try and get people to relate that don't suffer with it themselves, and sort of see it from the perspective of people that do deal with it, and sort of just bring attention to it in a more like creative way.
Yeah, I really came across in the film. It really reminded me, I don't know if this is what you were going for, but sort of after we got out of the COVID pandemic, the first time sort of going outside to the shops, that's sort of what it gave me personally flashbacks to. So
A few people said that. Yeah, it's interesting. Because it wasn't made for those. It wasn't made to be in those conditions, was it? But like, I guess you can kind of place it in that time and that phase. Because obviously the themes are not going out and feeling so trapped by everything and the world, and finding your own space, kind of like internally, when all of that happens. But yeah, that's I guess it relates in that way. Yeah.
And I'm guessing you're all sort of local students. It's filmed in Manchester, so I wanted to sort of hear your sort of stories and how you got to be in this city and sort of want to make this film.
So for me, I'm originally from Coventry down in the Midlands, and I've sort of just always been interested in like films and like wanting to know how they're made and like everything that goes in behind it. So I obviously picked up the film making course at Screen and Film School in Manchester, and for me, writing isn't something that I was ever really had any sort of interest in. It sort of just came up in a module, our first short film module, and we had to write a script, and I wrote a script based on an experience that I've faced, because it's the only thing I could think of, and it got picked to be made, and it was just a really weird feeling of just like, oh, like, okay, I've written a film here, this is kind of weird but really cool. So yeah, that's kind of my background on that.
All right. Well, I'm from York initially. Came to Manchester just because, well, it's where this was. It's where, the hub of everything, film-wise, film and TV. But I guess that's the reason why it's just so hard not to relate to the script in a way. It's like, you move to, even myself, you move to a new place, a new city, and you experience the exact same things. So it just makes it so much easier to relate to what you wrote and like find a way into that. Because it's obviously something that everybody either knows or knows people who have experienced or dealt with those issues. It's so widespread and so common. It's just unavoidable. And like the script kind of pointed it out. So in a way, that was kind of easy to access, like with your own experience, my own experiences as well. Coming to a place where like everything, at first it's like the scene we have in the film where it's like everything is loud. It's a bombardment on the senses. It's like it's just inescapable. And yeah, I guess that's why everyone can connect to it, especially me myself. Really, I'll pass it on to you.
I'm from Kettering, which is down in East Midlands, but I came into Manchester. I don't go to uni with these guys. I went to a drama school called the Arden School of Theatre, but I auditioned for them, and I was really intrigued by the script because there's like no dialogue except for a tiny little bit at the beginning and a tiny little bit at the end, which was interesting because obviously it's about social anxiety, and it was a real challenge to try and show that just through, facial expressions and like trying to see what's going on behind the eyes rather than dialogue. So it was tricky, but hopefully it came across.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Good luck with the screening. We'll talk afterwards and sort of get some more questions, go a bit more in depth after we've seen the film. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, and good luck.
Thank you. See you later.